All right, good morning. My name's Ava, and I'm joined here by James Hosford, and we're going to be commentating the Firehawks versus Leadbeaters Consolation match number 1.
Yep, so this is for the teams that initially finished 4th and 5th on the ladder, and the final set now is New South Wales Blue Tongues versus Queensland Thunderbirds. These two teams plus the Blue Bottles will play a small little triangle bracket to decide 3rd, 4th and 5th place in the final standings.
Yeah, I imagine that Victoria looks pretty confident to win this game, but also will be very set on it, especially after they lost to the Blue Bottles yesterday, which I imagine was quite the blow to their confidence. And so I imagine they've regrouped last night and then come back absolutely determined to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting takeout straight away from the warm-ups is we've got Aaron Seibel, the former Thunderbird superstar, currently doing warm-up work with bludger in hand, which I don't believe he was particularly doing yesterday. I think he was mostly chasing yesterday.
Yeah,
that will change the game a bit if he's able to beat for them.
For sure. And I think his injury, I imagined his injury was going to just take him out of the beating game. Chasing tends to be a lot more chill and a lot less contact heavy if you want it to be.
Yeah, in a strange way.
But if he's warming up with the bludger, then maybe that means he intends to either they've had some injuries or he intends it to give it his best shot and see if they can pull out a win against Victoria.
Yeah. The Firehawks, the beating has been interesting for the Firehawks, and it feels like it's been both their strength and their weakness to an extent. The chasing has just kind of been fairly stable from last year, as the Beaters has had a lot of depth with players like Joe Dixon, Zach Winters, hopefully Aaron now, who are really good, but I know from their preparation, their youngest players who are really still learning the game, are really raw, are mostly their beater core as well.
Yes. I also think that we've seen a lot of kind of raw talent, a lot of athleticism, but what we haven't seen is a huge amount of chaser-beater coordination, particularly I think because with the B teams at state, you've noticed that you have a lot of the players who are the best in their team, but they don't necessarily know how to work within a team that's supporting them. And then they get to the kind of elite and representative levels, and then, oh, look, everyone on my team can pass, everyone can catch, everyone can throw.
Yeah.
And it takes them a while to kind of get into the groove of trusting their teammates.
Yeah, definitely. So Victoria are back at full strength today. We believe Maddie Bell was absent yesterday and is the big in for this morning.
I imagine it's a less of an intense game than they expected. They probably expected to be playing against Queensland in that kind of 2-3 playoff. But this one, I'm sure they will make the most of their consolation games and attempt to come out on top, particularly against the Blue Bottles later today.
Yeah. So after this, at 11 o'clock, we have game 1 of the finals. So that's the really big one to come, Thunderbirds versus Blue Tongues. I think this one should be about to start now. The referees are in consultation.
The Victoria's in their huddle. They've all been equipment checked.
It looks like the inevitable has finally happened after a day. Nat Astelosh has got the straps on.
I don't think she was a last-minute call into reffing.
She's been trying to avoid it at all costs, but I have a feeling now the quality of Nat might stick her there for the rest of the day, unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately for her, but good for the rest of us.
Yes.
Her knowledge of the beta rules and has been quite enjoyable to listen to on the sideline, but I'd rather her have some power and be actually on the pitch.
So head referee for this match is Logan Davis, just like every other match.
I wonder if that's going to be the pattern that we see all day, or if Logan's going to need to take a break, because that's a lot of reffing for one person to do.
Logan's got to come. I mean, if Nat's willing, that's an option, but no, Logan can do it. Logan won't want to take a break. He's that kind of guy.
Yeah, it also means consistency for every single match.
Yeah,
it would be
exactly.
He has a particular style of reffing. He's quite light on contact fouls, quite kind of go with the flow, let the game play, no harm, no foul. So it would be, I think, a strange change to have someone like Joe Dodd or Luke Derrick or Harry Jones or Cooper Fitzgerald ref, because they would have such a different style with it.
Yeah, because there's arguments about the style, but you want that consistency. It can be risky at this level in particular with the intensity and level of contact, but I'm always pro this kind of Logan Davis reffing style and just letting the kids play, as they say.
I do think, though, it led to quite a shock. This type of style, it might be quite popular in Australia, led to a bit of a shock at World Cup and of international tournaments, so it might be something that we just have to work out.
It's that hard balance between how do you make drop bear campaigns better, but also keep our fun game how it is, and the really vibrant, interesting, flowing game we have, which I'm not sure everyone else has around the world to the same extent.
Definitely the priorities on the community, I think, and the club level, and see how we can sustain and grow that.
Right, so we've got starters on now. So Victoria starting Max Hockley as the keeper, which is interesting, and we've got Matty Elliott, Matt Tingate, Maddie Bell chasing.
That is quite a Maddie, Matt, T, and Max combination. A little bit difficult for us to call out their names, but say la vie. They hate us, I guess. And the two beaters that we see, we've got Nicola Gertler paired up with that. Is that Ashley King? No.
It's Ben Watson.
Ben Watson, of course.
I thought I know Ben Watson is.
I think that's not Ashley King.
So, Thunderbirds. The Firehawks there, they're starting. That's Wallace. We've got Wallace Turner starting as the keeper, which is always interesting. He's made such a jump from last year. Great athlete, but was very raw and very hard to manage and ill-disciplined a bit last year. But I've been really impressed with him this year.
Yeah, it seems like he's done really well as well in Queensland State League, and so he's definitely been one of the players to watch.
So we've got Ryan Fearon doing the run against Matt Tingate. He's a good young athlete, actually. Played for Newcastle in midwinter. Was really impressed with him.
We've got Yoshi Skinner as chaser and the infiltrator. Over there, number 2 is Isa Karalik. And she's done really well all day. I've been watching.
Impressed by her, actually, yesterday.
And then the 2 beaters, we've got 92.
We've got Ben Helene, and the other one's placed with of course. The other one is Michaela Turner, who's been doing a lot of that work. She's probably their most experienced of their female beaters now, especially.
Yes, for sure.
Here we go at the start now. I'm back Matt Tingate in this run, but over this short distance, it's always a reaction lottery.
Oh, yeah, Matt's got it. He's got the quaffle. Fumbles it, but he still looks like he's going to manage to pick it up. Yes. He's got no support except from Maddie Bell. Max Pockley comes over halfway.
So I once again confused myself, as happens a bit, where Max Pockley, that's a great inside ball. Scores through contact, that's great. So Victoria's going that way. They started opposite on the run, which I always hate when they do that.
Yeah.
So 10-0 early to Victoria. Max Pockley, experienced player who I believe lives interstate and hasn't been around for much of their campaign, but has been brought back into the fold and always really good physical energy.
Absolutely, one of their best tacklers, defense and offensive threat. One of the best driving threats. I wonder, though, if that means... No, we still see Nathan Morton in the sub-box in the green and Kit, so it looks like they're doing a 3-keeper rotation.
Yeah, as they've had all weekend, it's starting in different sequence. So the ball goes out deep there, resets to Victoria. Firehawks set up in quite a conservative and static zone, which is what they've been doing most of the weekend. I think it's what you have to do when you're sort of teaching younger teams like this. I'm really interested to see how Victoria's defense structures with the experience on field here. Tingate back to Pockley in the centre. Lane stacking the right side there. What an athlete Tingate is. I love watching him move.
He is. And I think over the last few years he's really added to his repertoire of skills, particularly with the introduction of two-hand. It could have. Beautiful goal from Tingate.
Love a little floating ball from Pockley, and Tingate's too athletic there. This year I feel like Tingate's taller than I remember him being, which I think is a compliment just about his confidence and general athleticism, and I don't know whether he's sort of in better shape now, who knows, but that's a serious athlete.
He's increasingly taking up roles on point and being a playmaker rather than just a wing. I think that's the nature of the Victorian game, is that he's had to step up into that role.
They're playing too high on defence there, which is very unusual in Victoria. They have Maddie Elliott putting a lot of pressure high on the ball alongside Matt Tingate, which I think is just them wanting to press quickly and put pressure on the team. They know they're more athletic and experienced than, but this is the risk with that. You can get in behind and create threat.
My guess is they're looking for the quick turnovers, the quick goals, which they reckon they can get from the Firehawks, especially if they push the ball out of the kind of into the less experienced chasers' hands.
Yeah. That was really good from Yoshi still to get in behind that and punish it, but just that's always what these younger teams often struggle with. They have great structure, but can't always get that final ball in the hoop. It's always just about the finishing over physical opposition.
Particularly against someone like Max Pockley. Yes, you get past Maddie Bell, but if you end up in Pockley's arms, there's not much you can do.
Early changes. They've gone quickly to Andrew Hewen and Michelle Mannering out the back, and they're using Maddie Bell out the front.
That's
Pockley's
good.
still controlling it all, finds Hewen in the corner.
At the high representative level, we've seen a lot of great playmaking from Maddie Bell, so I think it's good if she can take that role for Queensland, especially it leaves wing threats like Michelle out the back.
Good open look there from Pockley. Happy to take that. Just easy reset ball, no threat. Now Michelle Mannering with it. Very experienced player, always in and out of the game, and brings so much kind of calmness to their offense. So that's Maddie Bell. Pockley in the centre.
And Yoshi Skinner doing great job on point, but can't quite keep them from making the pass. Great defense.
We've had God knows what's going on in the corner with the Beaters. There's also another broken provided Quidditch Quadball Australia certified broom here.
Another one.
And that is, you think Firehawks ball. Michelle Mannering, oh, maybe not. No, let's secure it.
I thought that was a goal, but maybe it was beat before.
Broom's down. I think they're going to talk about that one. This is with the broom, I believe. Hope we still have 12 by the end of the day.
Yes. If not, Bunnings is nearby.
Yeah. So 20, and Gary's got one here. 20-0 to Victoria early. Firehawk Quaffle. Coming up with Ryan Fearon. Full line changes in Queensland. They've got Caitlin Rapson on as keeper now, who I was, again, I'm biased, but incredibly impressed by. Was the Newcastle leading MVP vote getter at Midwinter. Victoria now, still very compressed in the zone. They're beaters, but still using that second chase. Oh! Great shot from Yoshi Skinner. Looks like they may be hurt, unfortunately. So we're going to stoppage here. Got a whole exchange with the actual waffle itself in the middle of the field, which I think Andrew Kewen's managed to secure, but either way, Nicola Gert was there with the lunges, so that should sort itself out.
Yeah, looks like Benji's watching that, making sure. We've still got Victoria with control. They've held it for the whole game so far.
Yeah, so it's been very similar to yesterday. Like really, got Yoshi Skinner up and off on their feet, so hopefully everything's okay there. We'll be resuming shortly. So Logan working out the situation here now looks complicated. It's also right on halfway, so there could be one of those weird resets that can often happen as well.
If Fearon Ryan Fearon allows him to step over and then pushes him back, that's a reset.
That's a great little move.
Oh no, looks like Ryan Fearon ends up with the ball, but Nicola's right there, so and there's no one really to pass back to, so his best bet I think is just to run.
Probably just has to yeet this forward really fast, just give them time to set on defense realistically.
That's true.
Take a Hail Mary shot. That's good. He's backed out of there. No, that works really well. So he's kept their possession. Caitlin Rapson will tag back in, and now they can set up their offense.
Yes. That was, I think, the best possible outcome for Firehawks this time.
Now they've got their two big bodies forward. They've got Q and Pockley putting high pressure on.
Leaving Mission Maddie on the hoops, along with Nicola and Benji.
Yeah. Well, you've got bludgeon control on the height of Mannering and Bell there. You can afford to be aggressive. Great alley look there, just a little bit over.
After Caroline coming in with the alley option, she's doing great this game.
So it looks like we're going to have Hoskins and a foul on Kiosino. Another broken broom.
They're really kind of tearing through these. Yeah. I hope that QA has the money.
That was from Kiosino contact on Nicola Gertler there. Kio, obviously the clear most physical beater on this Firehawks team, always brings a big injection of energy when they're on the field. The fast break opportunity here, with Kiosino's aggression has actually kind of opened up an opportunity here if Pockley can get this ball clear of where the bludgeon is.
Yeah.
They do have one back though. So this is a control play, so first sustained control for the Firehawks now.
Misplay by Ben Watson. He loses control for Victoria, I think. Could have kept it, but now Firehawks have control. And Maddie Bell taking the quaffle up. With an incredible long beat. That's amazing. And Emily McKee now on for the Leadbeaters as a beater.
She's got it out of there. There's reset options.
We've got Kit on offense as well for the Leadbeaters.
That's great hands from Maddie Bell.
Beautiful goal.
It's the composure, because there was that early fumble, but to just stay in the game there and have the time, so you know that she has the time to reset and take that shot. Penalty she would have got Brad Horsfall on now, I believe, Victoria. In a fun exchange with Kiosino, but Firehawks control.
Once again.
This has definitely been the key line for the Firehawks. They've got Joe Dixon on with Kiosino.
Yes.
Opportunity, here's Rapson.
But I think they're calling beat before. That was a beautiful goal. If only there hadn't been a bludger in the way.
On the pass before, I think. Kia with the jump, misses, the bludger misses, and then the big tackle on Horsfall.
Oh, Kia takes it out of his arms and then he takes it back. Oh.
So that'll be Victoria control back. Dixon aggressive here, that'll give options behind.
We've got Maddie Elliott back on with Maddie Fitzgerald.
Two Maddies now. I wonder if we'll see three Maddies at any point today at the same time.
I very much hope so. I hope this is the game. Now they have all three Maddies. Maddie Fitzgerald straight into the arms of the keeper.
Yeah, easily secured by Caitlin Rapson. So quick change, you've got Ethan Sonoya on beating now, which is interesting, as he's primarily a chaser for this Firehawks team, so that's a change up in their rotations.
We saw him keep against the Blue Tongues at least yesterday.
Yeah. He was one of the breakouts last year. Like, he was someone who brought a lot of energy and was the most physical up for the contest last year, and experienced player now, goes to a lot of the interstate tournaments. But I haven't seen him beat yet, so this is interesting.
We've got only one bludger in play at the moment. We've got the other two right off the side. Emily picks it up, and now we've got Victoria with two, Firehawks with none.
No bludger opportunity. That's what Kewen's kind of build loves. Easy one for him.
Yeah. And if he missed, he had Maddie Elliott just on the other side, ready to pick that up, clean it up.
So we're at 40-0 now into the 8th minute.
Mm-hmm.
So Firehawks are keeping the pace slow. They're not getting blown out, but Victoria is patient and methodically working through.
We've got Sam Chittenden coming on as keeper for the Firehawks.
We've got Nilla Sambell on the far wing, playing one of their more experienced lines here in chasing, but one of their least experienced lines in the beating now.
Yes, very much so.
Sam Chittenden
Kit takes it.
Horsfall, fast break opportunity.
And Kit dodges the bludger after bumping into Logan from behind, and then shot straight through the medium hoop.
That's a great run from Maddie Fitzgerald there to pull the attention of the defenders there to create that opening.
Mm-hmm. She's such a smart player, and I think her return to the Leadbeaters has been great for Victoria.
Yeah, it's a big in because I remember pre-COVID times I was very excited Maddie Fitzgerald as a clear future drop bear option, one of the best in the country.
I think she was selected for the 2020 team that never happened, which is devastating.
But she's still at that standard if she's able to be around and commit to a program.
Yeah.
Go through a campaign.
We've got Yoshi Skinner back on, which is nice to see. Wasn't injured too much, and she gets the ball back, knocks it out. Sam Chittenden's got it.
Big drive in from the big man, Chittenden.
Oh, bumps into Kit. Kit's dismounted, so is Sam.
Body's on the ground, falls wrong for Queensland, Victoria ball. A lot of that defence, as tends to happen, just comes from the pure hustle energy of Maddie Elliott. He's just the ultimate scrappy defender. Victoria ball with bludger control. Going with a 1.5 option, and McKee putting physical pressure on. Jack Edmonton scores easily.
Beautiful.
That's Jack Edmonton's just come on the chase end the first time. Now he can make the hit the other way around.
Oh, but he swung off. Sam Chittenden gets it. And Nilla gets caught up. Maddie Fitzgerald turtling, and Nilla gets beat, and Maddie ends up with the ball.
Always love Jack Edmonton's game because it's simple, direct, and effective. He knows his strengths. He knows that he's a big, strong player who can just go through everyone in the centre, and he does it every time.
Oh yeah. I love watching him play. A great attitude as well.
Yeah. I feel like it's something I'm aware of and work on. Too many big players try too many fiddly fun things, and you should just tank through everybody all the time.
We saw Tim with an attempted pass over to Mish, but goes high, ends up off pitch, and Firehawks ball again.
This is now 3 keepers in the rotation without the use of Nathan Morton yet. Tim Scott on, I think he's probably just seeing how the game develops and keeping the legs fresh for the big ones to come. Here's Nicola back on beating. So Mannering and Emerson high in the 2 up chase the defence. And we've also got Sam Kilpatrick for the first time, so they've definitely been keeping some of their bigger aces for later.
Oh, and that was a great shot attempt, but didn't go through. And looks like Maddie Fitzgerald accidentally puts the cloth through the hoops, but Tim is coming up on the transition, passes it to Mish.
But
She just gets it through a small hoop.
So this is Aaron Seibel on beating, I believe, for the first time this weekend. So
Yeah.
the first I've seen. Rusty immediate first manner, unfortunately, and Michelle Mannering's through and scores the quick transition goal.
That's right. I think a couple of plays and he'll be back in the game.
Yeah. Playing the Seibel Turner being the line, which is one of their great leadership pairs. Seibel, you can see the different dynamism Seibel brings and going to the corner and making those different angles for Kilpatrick to worry about.
I wonder how much, having played for Victoria as a chaser, has equipped Aaron to play against Sam Kilpatrick.
Yeah, but Seibel knows what this
Oh,
plays
a beautiful, beautiful Aaron catches Nicola's bludger.
Meanwhile, Maddie Fitzgerald, easy ball, Jack Everton, big finish, another goal for Victoria. Here comes Wallace Turner.
But Tim brings him down to the ground. Tim's dismounted. Wallace still gets up. I think we saw another broom break, maybe.
Is it a broom or... Are they not liking something? Is Logan not liking something from Tim here or Michelle?
Yeah, look, Tim's dismounting himself. He's taking off the keeper headband. He's giving it to Maddie Fitzgerald.
That's interesting. I wonder if that clearly is from the first contact, which looked clean enough here. Sort of missed the initial contact, so whether it was received and perhaps jumped back on board from an angle that he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, I don't know.
The ball he reset. This is an interesting one. Whilst right there on the keeper line, big Jack Emerton right in front of him.
Yeah.
Does he try and go through the big body or shoot over the tall body? That's a tough option.
Or the beautiful pass to the small hoop. I think that's the
I
option.
think you've got to drive, take Jack and make that left-hand ball here for the small hoop. That's got to be the play.
Especially if Yoshi can keep Maddie Fitzgerald out, if she's got that block.
Or a
that screen.
huge fake to that left player, make Jack jump out of his boots and then go straight to that right hoop as Yoshi and Maddie cover across. But you've got...
Jack's definitely looking for the intercept.
Yeah.
A bounce pass here. Perfectly timed. Oh, and yeah, beautiful. That was a beautiful pass. Great option. Oh, and Aaron captures Sam's bludger.
Excellent.
And then, but then bounces it.
It's 70-20, so yeah, we still have the potential for a game here if they get on a good run. Tim Scott with a high miss. That's going to go out, I believe. Matt Mannering hasn't rescued that. That'll be Queensland ball.
And Michelle Mannering pushing her back, although she is allowed to re-enter the pitch without issue.
Yeah.
Yep, and they're going to redo the re-entering the pitch. Goes back to the keeper, Wallace Turner.
Here we go. We're now seeing what I was about to make the call for, which is Kia Cito, Aaron Seibel beating together.
That is
60-point game. This is the period now. If they can make one big run now, we could have a game.
Yeah.
If Victoria can absorb this, they should be okay.
And they've got some excellent wing chasers as well in Yoshi Skinner.
Yeah. Playing their tall chaser line here as well.
Yeah.
Yoshi with the cutback has room.
Oh, and the pass goes. Oh, Nicola Gertler kicks the quaffle, but I actually think that was.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It was certainly incidental. Michelle Mannering doing something and kicking out of legs, which is strange.
Yoshi was trying to get the ball off of Tim.
Complete chaos here. I don't know what's going on.
Key is dropping a bludger. I don't know who has it. I don't know who ends up with the ball.
This is resetting.
Oh, it's giving it back to Yoshi.
I don't know if this is relevant to the Nicola kicking the quaffle earlier.
Yeah, probably. My guess is that would be what happened. Looks like Yoshi's going to up with the ball. I think her best option is to run backwards. She's got no support on this side. She's got Sam sitting on the ground, but he's got a bludger.
Yeah, Tim Scott's out. They've got Nathan Morton's on for the first time just now as the keeper. So they've got Morton and Fitzgerald still on the hoops. But Key is there as the meter, so Yoshi could just make that cut line behind, but it depends on what the support chase is, because there's three of them all coming from the back half here.
Yeah, that's true. I personally wouldn't want to go through both Maddie Fitzgerald and Michelle Mannering, especially if they can make that tackle, only to end up, face to face with Nathan Morton.
It's a change of ball possession. It's Tim Scott's ball.
This team's so they gave it to Yoshi and then they took it away. So now we don't know what's happening.
I thought Tim Scott, even if it is a Victorian ball, I thought Tim Scott was beat, unless Logan's made the call that whatever play has created this change just before Tim Scott was beat.
So Tim Scott was inbounding, so Kia's beat didn't count because Tim Scott was not on the pitch. That's what I think is happening here.
Right.
Not entirely sure.
Queensland are pretty well set here. They've got a bludger and three defenders back, so they'll set up a set offense. Kilpatrick and Gertler are able to come up here now, though, so Victoria can set it up.
Kia's out, but Aaron has the bludger. Sam's running up doing his classic windmill faking.
Nathan Morton.
Oh. And
Shoulder middle hoop looks like he just missed.
Manny Fitzgerald
gets
picks
it.
up. Goes back to Morton. He's going to take another shot. Gets blocked by Turner. And it goes out.
That should be Victorian ball, but I feel like. Unless that deflected only off hoops rather than,
It is. It's been given back
Tim
to
Scott's ball.
Tim Scott, who's going to look to pass to Fitzgerald, but Wallace Turner's going
He's going to go long to Morton.
Yeah,
Reset,
smart.
So they've got wing options. Scott set deep. Carry Crawford on for the first time as well now. Inside step, he'll get the run now. That's his shot all day there for Morton. He's able to beat that first defender and get a head of steam going and a clean look. He makes them all day. He's deadly from that range. So we've got a score discrepancy here that will work out.
Yeah.
But shouldn't affect the game. We've got 90-20 on the official scoreboard, 80-20 on ours here on the broadcast. And we'll chase that up.
Going with 90-20.
That does sound right to me because there's a couple in there that I saw. Miles Yoshi in the corner. Got Adrian Marshall on a point here.
Adrian Slazinski on as a chaser, looking to intercept, but Crawford goes around.
So they'll use Crawford with the ball coming up, as they often do.
And Hannah Wall-Ravens, captain for this team, subbing on for the first time as well. So we've got quite a return to the Manacors lineup with Hannah, Nathan Morton, and Nicola.
Carry with the alley for Hannah Ravens, just too high.
National treasure Mark Kelly on in beating with Nicola.
Great to see Mark able to play because he's stayed a very recent, fairly major injury actually over the last week. I believe he's got a fracture in one of his hands.
Oh gosh.
Just in training this past week. But I believe it's possibly, I can't actually tell, he's got a strange beating style. I believe it's his non-dominant hand, so he's able to make the best of it.
Yeah, okay.
This has been great. Finally, after years as a national treasure, getting his first look at this level playing. It's great to see.
He's played for the.
I believe he played for the Victorian B team back in the round. This is his first time Leadbeaters,
which is good to see. All right, we see Nicola beating keeper.
Morton forces Nilla into the reset. These days, that is a reset, I believe. Didn't used to be.
Yes, it is a reset.
As it should be.
Same with going off pitch.
Yeah.
They synced up the two rules.
So Nilla Sambell coming up the right now. Caitlin Rapson in the centre.
Nilla, but Carey intercepts it. Nathan ends up with the ball. Nathan Morton shooting up pitch.
He's got that shot.
Yeah. Oh, and beautiful pass. But Adrian Marshall gets dismounted.
Yeah. Marshall wasn't happy, lost the broom there, but I think he's just scored the goal on time.
Yeah, he did, for sure.
There should be 100 points to 20 now.
Yes. Again, they've got Crawford and War Ravens on hoops, and then we've got Morton and Marshall at the points. Clearly they think they know where the threats are. They think they're going to force a quick turnover. That's definitely been the Victorian attempt this game. Oh, beautiful intercept by War Ravens, although I thought that went in the hoop.
She's nearly put that back through her own hoop. Hannah War Ravens cut the right-hand side in. Morton set in the centre, will get the offload. That's in his range. Straight back. Beautiful.
The 1-2. Oh, but the keeper gets it, and she dives on it. Beautiful.
Caitlin Rapson, big body, always really effective on defence.
Excellent, Caitlin. Nice job.
So Caitlin Rapson subbing out for Sam Chittenden.
And Ethan comes back on as a beater.
Interesting.
The beater pair we've got at the moment is
We've got Ethan from Zach Winters, who's quite experienced and been around for a while. Very interesting. Oh, he's got Nathan Morton's fully sconed. Morton's complaining here about close range face speed potentially.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It definitely got him in the head, but it was incidental and side on and not a drama for me.
Tapped his head.
So we've got Zach Winters here, very sort of unique and interesting beating style and general frame, but he's actually quite effective and quite experienced.
And he's going up. He beats Mark Kelly. But Mark Kelly gets the bludger. Misplay by Zach Winters, who gives Victoria control, and the quaffle goes out.
Slightly too high for Ryan Fearon. The option was on there.
World quality goal ref Chloe Murr collects the ball, passes it to Maddie Bell.
Matty Bell finally back on. So getting set. Yeah, they're finally at their second runs now. So here's Matt Tingate.
We've got Kit on as keeper again. Yeah, Maddie passes to Kit, who passes it over to Hannah. Oh, but she gets crunched by keeper Sam Chittenden. Manages to get the ball back through Tinny, back to Kit, and then is brought to the ground by Sam Chittenden.
Huge speculator from Ethan trying to get the bludger back to make the beat, but it's worked out. Zach Winters has got it. They're set on defence. Options here for Queensland. Matching out in the corner, that's a dangerous angle for him. Especially with Hannah Ravens and Maddie Bell both set on the other side here. Yes, we go to Bell, yeah. See that in advance.
Bell gets beat, passes it over, and it's scooped up by the Firehawks.
We've got two bludgers back, but they're not really set, so there is an opportunity here.
Oh, Sam Chittenden makes it's either a beat or a dismount, but Kit's now streaming up the pitch. There's no one in between them. There's a beater. Pops out of nowhere, passes it to Tingate, and a beautiful shot through goals.
Big finish from Tingate. He's not stoppable at that range. It's a 90-point game. I think we're nearing the interesting part. Yeah, we're in the 20th minute now, so we're about to near the release. I thought this would happen. So we've got Giacomo as the snitch. We need the blue bottle. My blue bottles here were providing some of the referees here, and after such a big game before, there was not a lot in the right state, but Giacomo's the kind of fellow who I think would like to give this a go. Not super experienced at the role, but look at him. He wants it. He wants it.
All right, and we've got Wallace Turner overshoots, ball goes out, and Leadbeaters return with a quaffle.
Nathan Lamb on now, putting pressure on Ethan.
Yeah, this is Nathan's first run at beating this game, I think.
It is.
M subs off, we've got Benji Watson on again.
So on to Watson Lamb. Yeah, I saw a little bit of that around this time of the game, like yesterday as well, the Lamb Watson line that swing. So we've got Seeking, so we've got
Kia
and Andrew Kewen.
Yeah.
Andrew Kewen's a big in the Seeker game.
Yes.
The Lamb and Watson set here to support the offense, but quickly put pressure on this on the Seeker game.
And that was a missed shot attempt, and Firehawks are going to end up with the quaffle again.
Yeah, Land cleans up Ben Helene. We've got the releases Andrew Kewen putting pressure on Jack. Giacomo's got the build and he's got the swagger for the role. Question is, does he have the technique? Very inexperienced.
Yeah, he's also going to keep running back. Got to return to the centre line. I think we're going to see a lot of kind of moving across court.
He's Kia.
Oh, Kia almost gets it.
But a great beat from range on the foot from Lamb. Great strip from Maddie Bell on what was a big opportunity there.
Yeah. And pass back to the keeper. Kit's got it. And Kit's going to be taking it up pitch. We do have two Maddies on.
Oh, we have a catch, I think.
Although it did look like Jack was falling. Let's see.
We'll have to see, but it looked okay from here. That was one of those ones you often get with an experienced snitch where Kewen was putting merciless pressure on and Jack's just backing up, and essentially kind of backs into the other Seeker and loses vision.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which, that's the tactics of Seeking. You can't be that merciless and over the top necessarily all the time as a Seeker if you know you're going to take their vision away from the other Seeker.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you have a Seeker who, like you said, can't really pay attention across both options.
Yeah. They've called it clean. Let's see if we continue. They chose not to in the Blue Tongues match yesterday.
This one's been a lot less brutal, I reckon. It's first match of the day. It's not tired. They are remounting. Good. Game is continuing.
Excellent. Love to see it. Always love to see it. Because they've got this match and then one other against the Blue Bottles later.
Yeah.
It's the first of only two today, so let's go. It's really important for teams like this to get these development opportunities. So we have 110 to 50. Set score will be 140.
The Firehawks have control, but Leadbeaters have the quaffle. Kid passes it to Maddie Bell. And Bell's going to... Elliot's looking for the cut.
He can survive that, but then...
Carrie gets a nice pass off to Kit, who's then going to look to drive it in, pass over to... it goes wide to Elliot. Elliot manages... No, she doesn't manage to keep it in, and it's going to end up with Yoshi Skinner, who is going to take it in for the Firehawks.
Yeah, the reason it's always worth continuing, even when you're well down, is quite a lot of the times if you caught the snitch, it's because you had bludger control to facilitate it, so you go on a run.
Exactly.
And that was a big part of the Blue Bottles win yesterday.
Yes.
Over Victoria.
But it looks like Victoria has ended up with control again. We've got Aaron Sybil on,
Sticking with the Lamb-Watson line, they've got control. Got Crawford and Matty Elliott high on defence.
Yeah, Crawford's following Wallace Turner, but leaves. That was a save. That was a bounce.
Beat. Turner beats Bell. Should be able to score this.
Oh, yes, and he scores. A beautiful goal from the Firehawks, taking the score to 60 versus 110.
That's why it's worth it. It's a big ask, but you can get on a run.
Mm-hmm. It was a beautiful shot. That was quite a thread through the hoop.
Nathan Morton back on to finish it, I think. Oh, there we go. There's one of the patented Joe Dixon monumental over-the-top bloodulous fakes.
Mm-hmm. A similar strat to what Yuki from the Blue Tongues has been doing, which is quite funny to watch.
Similarly useful.
And Michelle Mannering, beautiful positioning, catches it from Nathan Morton, and then she scores on the small hoop from behind. Stunning work.
Lovely flat ball from Morton and great finish from Mannering. Brad Horsfall on now.
Oh, they can't both have immunity.
We can hear Nicola talking about it.
Yeah, hear the call from the Victorians. Koffle's past halfway.
High press from Morton. That's a reset there, and he's going to get that and score. No, he's been beat.
Caitlin Rapson chasing it down. Caitlin Rapson's going to end up with the quaffle. She's taking it up. I assume that's a reset. Is that not a double reset? No, they didn't take it over?
Nah, because Morton had it in that intervening period. 120 to 60. 2 more to win for Victoria. Trying to get to 140. So Crawford and Mannering doing the double point work. Morton and Bell back. Takes a long shot. That shot's on from Rapson. The hoop was open.
Yeah.
Just misses narrowly. So Maddie Bell coming up in the quaffle now. Stacking left side. They've got Crawford and Mannering down left with Morton reset on the right in the centre. And Sam Kirkpatrick on now as well. Kirkpatrick clears the lane. Morton makes his shot through that.
Caitlin looks to block it but doesn't quite get it. Rapson up with the ball again. We've got the Firehawks beater streaming down pitch. Joe Dixon gets beat, has to take it back.
So we're at match point now for Victoria. Caitlin Rapson coming up inside. He just taking it slow and patient. Structuring the offense really well. Rebecca Sowell out the back. Horsfall's pressed out to take care of that threat. Is Zach Winters back on?
And yes, she is beat. Beautiful shot attempt, but goes straight to Maddie Bell's hands. Bell takes it up the field. Unfortunately, we haven't at any points in a triple Maddie lineup, but there's still time. There's still one more game.
We just had the opportunity right there too, because those changes made.
Exactly. But alas,
Victoria. They're playing the 3 drop bear female chaser line, which is great to see. So they could totally do the 3 Maddies. Good stoppage here.
It looks like they might be looking to cut Isa Karalik, give the ball back to Max Pockley. No, she's just dismounted.
Big chance to finish it here. Aaron Sybil's there, but Sam Kirkpatrick will make the run down.
Beautiful pass to Hannah, but she doesn't quite get it. Back to keeper. Rapson has it in her hands. Although staring down both Brad Horsfall and Sam Kirkpatrick, I'm not sure I would want to run down on that beater duo, especially with control.
We've got Pockley playing hard now to put more physical pressure on early.
And Hannah as well. 2 very physical players. Great at point, great at wrapping.
As ever though with Victoria, even with the 2 points, it's not a high press. So Rapson's got those shot options on. She has that shot in their game, but it's just...
but she's going to lose the quaffle. Max ends up with it, and there's almost no one in front of Max Pockley. Yeah, it's going to be, and it's a goal. That is the game-winning goal by Max Pockley.
Pockley finishes it, so it looks like we've ended 140 to 60. Logan will clarify it all, but that should be game over. That's a good solve in for Victoria. It's taking care of business there. That'll leave both these teams now to play the Blue Bottles in this little 3-way fight for third. I forget if they've got a quarter sit yesterday, but I think that's the 60s possibly the most that the Firehawks have scored this weekend. That was a really good performance, especially because they were blown out more early and then came back into it, which is often the reverse of how it goes. They just kept fighting, got a few good goals, and they managed to get that catch.
Yeah. but struggled to convert even when they did have leisure control after the catch. But an impressive effort, I think, from them, and a lot of their players over the course of the weekend have really improved and really grown. So it's been exciting to see what the Firehawks have done between last year and this year, and then I imagine next year will be even greater. We'll see. I assume some key faces from this team move up to the Thunderbirds, as you always see between the A and the B teams. And it will be nice to see what fresh new talent they have next time.
Yeah, it's always interesting because you always lose that slight amount up. You just got to be able to keep
Keep
the cycle going and have enough talent coming through to keep sustaining it, which is always the challenge with teams like the Blue Bottles and the Firehawks.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want to lose too much of your veteran players, because otherwise, you can't run a team that's just totally fresh.
Yeah. So that's a Victorian win. So next for these guys, so we're about to have in about 20 minutes, 11 o'clock, is game 1 of the final series between the Blue Tongues and Queensland Thunderbirds. Then at 12 o'clock will be New South Wales Blue Bottles versus Queensland Firehawks in the next consolation match before the lunch break. The Victoria Blue Bottles match will be much later in the afternoon. So that's a really interesting and fun match there. It's great to see Firehawks still improving with every match and Victorians work through their roster and be able to get everyone lots of really good game time there and get themselves prepared for the Blue Bottles.
Which I think will be the match that they're very much concerned about and very much wanting to win today. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. That'll be very exciting.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks to Ava. I've been James Osford and will continue to be.